A Tennessee man who was pardoned by President Trump has been sentenced to life in prison for plotting to attack FBI agents and attempting to incite a civil war. Edward Kelly was the fourth rioter to enter the Capitol on January 6th. He faced a separate investigation for targeting federal agents who were looking into his role in the Capitol attack. Now Kelly is set to spend the rest of his life behind bars. For more, let's bring in CBS News Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane. Scott, what more can you tell us about what happened in this case?
Yeah, Jolene, our CBS News review of this case shows that according to the Department of Justice, it was during the investigation of Edward Kelly's role in January 6th that he began targeting the FBI agents and the FBI overall that were part of the investigation into him. This began in 2022. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, that there was some type of plotting, amassing of resources, if not a plan and a way to execute the plan to target federal agents. They call it conspiracy for murder. So Edward Kelly, who was pardoned on January 20th for his role in the U.S. Capitol insurrection, now faces a life prison term for what he did while under investigation for the U.S. Capitol insurrection. There has been, as this week ends, no...
This guy's an idiot. This guy's an idiot. Like, you get pardoned, but they pardon you. And it seems like I be wondering if Trump be in on the shenanigans. So they pardon you for the January 6th insurrection, right? And then they know that they got bigger charges on you. So they say, oh, you can spend a little time out of jail, homeboy, but you're going to come right back in for life because you plotted a civil war. That right there, I would have to say, is ingenious to get some of these people off the street. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm going to salute Uncle Big Daddy Trump.
They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes. Then it's easy to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
You have to use strong language. Every once in a while, you have to use a certain word.
No pardon for Edward Kelly in this separate case, which is being prosecuted in the Eastern District of Tennessee.
How many other people who were pardoned by the president have since faced new criminal investigations, Scott?
Oh, there have been some, including one who was arrested just days later on a gun charge, and another, a Texas man, who was actually freed from prison because of the pardon, not just having his slate clear, but was actually released from the prison gates, who was later charged with child solicitation. That's what's happened.
What? Yo, some of these dudes are monsters, yo. Monsters. They belong in prison. They belong in prison. Like, what? You know, my American brothers and sisters, some of us got serious, serious problems. Serious problems. Because for people to have gone there for January 6th, I understand people were upset. Oh, my candidate lost. And then Trump, with his foolishness, talking about that, oh, they robbed him and stuff like that from the election, causing so much chaos. But it was wild. I remember that day, and I remember the weekend leading up to it. And I thought that somebody told me that, oh, yeah, they're going to be giving away free food and barbecuing and stuff in the Capitol and everything. Ray. I was like, word? I was like, yeah, I know a lot of MAGA people from the South. They can cook. So I was going to go. And I was going to go with an empty stomach. But something happened where I just didn't feel right. And I'm glad I didn't go, because me as a black man, they would have tried to be like, oh, are you MAGA and this, that, and that? I'm like, nah, I'm independent and stuff. And they probably wouldn't give me any food. And then they would have gone ahead and try to go and attack the thing on Capitol. And then now they want to try to push me into it. And I got to fight my way out of that foolishness. So I'm glad I didn't go. And, you know, we saw videos like this right here. And that showed me right then and there, when I watched it on TV, that that's not a place I want to be. But hey, all else is that's what they want to do. Well, they get charged for it.
So far, but one of the warnings that Justice Department officials gave during the Biden administration was that if there are pardons, these are people with a history of recidivism, of criming again after they get released. And we're seeing that play out already here in 2025.
You also have some new reporting on the opposition to the FBI's planned move of its headquarters to the former office of USAID. What have you learned?
This is a controversial move. The FBI changing offices, leaving the 50-year-old J. Edgar Hoover building, which, to put it charitably, is falling apart, to a different office space in Washington, D.C., in the Ronald Reagan building. That may seem bureaucratic, but there are a lot of concerns here. First of all, because law and funding require it to move to Maryland. A new site was being planned out and soon would be constructed in Greenbelt, Maryland. The Trump administration is defying that and instead deciding to move in Washington, D.C., to an area that critics say is not properly secured and not properly equipped to house the nation's top law enforcement investigating agency. We expect, Jolene, there to be legal challenges and congressional efforts to defund this move across town in Washington, D.C., and force this thing to go to Maryland. Just one of the many dramas playing out for the new FBI director.
So they already planned the building and they're building it, but Trump wants to move the FBI into the old USAID building. Like, what is... Sometimes I wonder if, like, they think these things through. I don't think they do, but it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
You just saw Kash Patel.
A lot going on there. And there's also some developments in the federal probe examining the death of Daniel Park, who was charged in connection with the bombing of that fertility clinic in Palm Springs, California. What's the latest there?
Yes, things happen so quickly, it's easy to lose track of some of these very emergent issues from a few weeks ago. But you'll recall that explosion, that bombing of the fertility clinic in California. There is a man charged with being a co-conspirator. His name is Daniel Park from Washington State. He died in prison while awaiting prosecution on the conspiracy charge. He's 32 years old. Anytime a 32-year-old dies while in custody, there's going to be some questions. His defense lawyer tells CBS News tonight that this likely was a death by suicide, but it raises questions how somebody can die by suicide inside a U.S. federal correctional facility while being held in a high-profile case. There's going to be questions asked by his family and by investigators inside a Los Angeles detention facility, about which questions have been raised already about conditions inside.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But I mean, if he a co-conspirator for that bombing that happened in California when they bombed the fertility clinic, sorry to say it, but good riddance. Simple as that. But just to focus on the people who were pardoned, the few people who were pardoned for the January 6th insurrection, they are foolish. You got a chance. You got a chance to get out of jail for something that you should never done. And now you're going to go back to jail because, like the person said, recidivism, they just keep committing crimes. These are the type of people that you do not want in your life or around you because they are not good people. But hey, this is what is going on right now. And, I wanted to get it to you guys and discuss it and share my opinion. And hopefully I can hear from you and hear what you have to say because I love the engagement. I love talking to you guys. You guys are very valuable. You're valuable to me. And of course, you're valuable in your lives to your friends and family. But I really appreciate you watching. Thank you. Thank you. If you haven't already, please like the video, make some comments, and subscribe to this channel. All that good stuff will help me as I continue to grow on this YouTube platform. But I can only grow with your help, so please help a brother out. Thank you for watching. Be safe. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace.